Hi, this is Jacob. I recently started working on a new project, and this is my database EERD design diagram. The project is going to encompass a is an it is an app to to store your stats and information about board games that you're playing in real life, like on a table in front of you. Uh, Everything is built up from the top with these two tables: the game table, and the user table. Each of these two are the highest up, like, parent tables. So the way the app will work is that when a user wants to track the stats for a game that they are playing, they will open up a session that they that other users can then join using a session key, or if there if there are players at the table who are not users of the app, will be possible for them to create non-user players, which will be stored here. And all of the players at the table, whether they are users or not, will be stored here for each session that is currently happening. They will then be given the option of whether they like what stats they want to track. Or actually, before that, it asks them what game they're playing based on, and then if that game is already in the database, then it just connects it to the ID from this table. If it's not, then it will ask them, like, did you mean this one? And, like, give them a few options of similarly named games already in the database. If they say no, then it will make a new game to store in this table that they are playing. And then it will ask what stats they want to track. And those get stored here. When they get to this step, it will also show them some presets for those stats that other people have tracked for that game. Those presets are stored over in these two purple tables. Uh, if they don't want to use a preset, then they just go through and they assign a name for their stat, along with they just assign a name for their stat along with the data type of the stat and the scope of the stat. So name, data type, and scope. Uh, the scope part is what determines where the stat's value will be stored, whether that's table scoped or player scoped. If it is scoped to the table as a whole, then that stat will be recorded based on the entire table's progress rather than just a single player's. But if it's scoped to individual players, then it gets stored over here. I have it set up so there will be predetermined scopes and data types for them to select from, held in these tables down here. When they finish a session is when that time ended row or column in the session table will finally get filled in, and then at that time it will also, for each player that is a user, it will go in and update their stats cache and increment the number of times they've played that the game that was selected by one, and if they won, then it will increment that as well. The last table is this follower table. Basically, it just links two users to each other, taking the user who did the following and the user who they are following. So then they can go and look at the stats for another user of the app. And that should be all of it. And that's the entire diagram there. Thank you.